everybody. Welcome back to a long-awaited Tier Force Heroes.
Oh, hey guys.
The best
Everyone's
Zelda
been waiting
tier
for this
list.
episode.
This specific one. We got taken out by Shad after our last tier list.
Sorry about it, guys.
He came after us.
He's very litigious, and yeah, so it took us a while to be able to. Actually, we recorded this months ago, but it's just been in a legal.
Yes.
Shad brought his lawyers, and it's been a rough
It's been a whole
legal
mess.
battle, but
The League of Uka researchers have been all over us. Lore.
Luckily, this lined up with Wind Waker week over at ZeldaDungeon.net. And so we thought, let's do all the islands in the Wind Waker.
Every single one.
It's quite an ambitious tier list we're about to achieve. I think we should. All we'll say is there's some that we combined. We combined
we did combine some.
Generally, the Reefs, stuff like that.
Yeah. The Reefs, the Triangle Isles, the fairy ones, and then two of the star ones, which now I'm thinking we probably just should have combined them all, but whatever. We'll do it. The only one thing that I did not include is I didn't put Tower of the Gods on here, because there's not really an island. It's just sailing into a building.
That's fair. Much. That is not an island.
That's like a below D tier island.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not even an island. It's a building.
It's below C tier.
That's
all the time we have, folks.
You're so witty.
Well, in that case, I think it's time for us to do something we haven't done in quite some time.
I gotta stretch.
Oh man, Gooey's ready to be at the top. Gooey, you have the easiest job here.
Don't worry about me.
Ready for this?
All right. It's totem time. Let's go. Good job, you guys. Nice totem. Sorry I dropped you.
I was a little off center.
Nobody appreciates though that I have to make a roof.
You don't have to, but you choose to. Gooey.
I mean, we don't just want a never-ending totem. It's got to end.
I want my totem to go on and on and on and on and on.
Here's all our islands, sort of, as much as we can see.
We got a lot of islands.
Corey's kind of the one who assembled this and is kind of our expert. So maybe if you just want to if you want to guide us through this, I feel like you would be the perfect person, because I'm looking at some of these and I'm like, I'm gonna need some background. Well, I do, but yeah,
You don't know? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I have a list pulled up off to the side, so
smart.
If you have any questions, I can probably identify them.
Sweet, thank you.
But part of that, let's look at the tiers. Let's look at the little
of course.
We have our typical S through D, but we have S tier for Shiver Me Timbers. What an island. We have A tier for Arrgh, this island is dope. B tier for boy, I like this island. C tier for could maybe sail by this one. And D tier for don't even drop anchor here.
No way. Not even worth it.
I love it.
Fair.
What should we do first?
Well, Goo, it's your choice.
Well, how about the one? Let's just do the reefs. I see the 4-eye reef there. Let's knock this out. So these, I mean, they're kind of neat, but they're not really essential to the game, right? I sort of think, yeah. So I mean, these are ones where it's like, I don't know. It depends on my mood, but I'd say D tier, because I often, after I see a couple, I'm like, all right, I've kind of seen these, and I don't even drop anchor there.
Before I would never touch them, and it wasn't until my recent playthroughs that I actually started stopping at them, and you can destroy all the cannons, which usually gives you a little treasure chest pops up on one of the eyes, and it just feels cool to be out in the middle of the Great Sea, on top of a rock pillar, because you feel like you're in the world. I do agree, though, they're not there's nothing crazy about them. So I would maybe argue for C tier, because you can maybe sail by them, or you could, stop a little bit.
I don't know if there's any islands that I feel that strongly about to put in D. So I mean, I feel like it's almost like something's got to be at the bottom.
Yeah, I would say this is about as boring and plain as it gets. Plus, there's the fact that is it 6 of them?
Yeah.
So it's like,
they're like dice.
It's a lot of nothing.
That's true.
So
maybe a couple too many Reefs.
Yeah.
All right, don't even drop anchor there then.
I wouldn't even drop anchor there. That's for sure. Womp womp.
All right. I'm gonna jump to one that is also one that I want to put in D tier.
Okay.
And it's Crescent Moon Island, which is the one that is shaped like a crescent moon. This game does. It's one shaped like a heart. This game does some really cool things with like the moon cycles, because there's like day cycles and there's moon cycles, and that actually affects some stuff. You'd think that being here on a crescent moon would do something, but it doesn't. There's basically nothing on this island. There's just like some of those barrels that have like pots on them, so you can get rupees. I think there's like a treasure chest on there somewhere, and I believe it's possible for the ghost ship to appear here, but it's on a full moon. So like, what are you doing?
Oh, it's they're being a little cheeky, I think.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? They're,
we tried to trick the Wind Waker speedrunners during the Wind Waker trivia at the marathon with this one. But everyone got it, I think.
Yeah. I'm okay with D tier, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
there's really nothing here.
I just recently played the game a few months ago for GUI's Dungeon Dive, and I recall going to this island and being like, that's it? I think I got to the ghost ship from here, though. So that's,
But the ghost ship can pop up in like 6 or 7 other places too, so it's like...
It's nothing special here.
It's like not even special. It would be sick if like you come here on a crescent island, on a crescent moon phase, and like there's switches that appear, and like if you pop them all up, like a little sinkhole appears in the middle of the crescent moon. Like they could have done something so sick, but it's just a big rock.
It's just nothing.
Yeah.
Kind of unfortunate. I agree. D tier. Don't even drop anchor. No, thank you. All right. If I'm picking an island right now, I have to think like, which one of these, just by their shape, that's not like an obviously really cool one, do I actually know?
What's here?
It might even be better to just like think of an island you do know, and I'll try and find it there.
Well, so like this one up top, this one 7-star island? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you got the little battle boat dude right there.
7-star Isles, I believe.
Sorry, Isles, and then this guy.
Let's do maybe both the stars, and Corey, you can make the case for why this one's separate or something.
There's 3. There's no, because we lumped 7 and 5. That's right. We lumped 7-star and 5-star. Because they're basically. I was looking just to double check like what really the difference is, and like. It's weird because like 7-star has like cannons that you can shoot, and you can get like a chest to appear, and there's also, it kind of became a little bit more useless in the HD version, because originally this was one of the spots where you could fish up a Triforce chart, but in the HD version they got rid of this one, so it's kind of just like a bunch of islands. And then 5-star, I don't think you can find a Triforce chart there, but the ghost ship can appear there. And then the one next to that is Starbelt Archipelago, which the only reason I wanted to do it different in the first place is because it has a much cooler name, but it's basically the exact same as the other two. So
interesting.
So do you feel like there's a tiers difference worth between them, or
depends how cool you guys think Starbelt Archipelago sounds?
Well, if you think about it, it's Starbelt Archipelago because of like Orion's belt. Right, so it's literally
like belt,
it's based on the idea of a constellation that I think is really cool.
It is a cool,
So
the other thing, there's one other thing actually that all 3 have in common, which is on a full moon. This is one of the light ring squares where on a full moon a bunch of light rings pop up
Oh,
where you can get a
yeah.
bunch of treasures.
Yeah,
So that's
cool.
kind of neat. But like that's for all of them, so I don't really think it bumps them up that much. I think my suggestion would be put 5 and 7 in D tier and put Starbelt Archipelago in C tier just because
That
it's
sounds right.
cooler.
Like
I
when
was
I
gonna
hear
say-
that name, it's
Yeah.
like I could sail by that.
Yeah.
If someone
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, I think Starbelt Archipelago is a D tier island," I would spit out my water. You know, how dare you say such a thing? That is C tier. So
For
we gotta
sure.
go a little womp.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Oh,
makes
yeah.
sense.
I think
to
that's
me.
good. I like that.
Is it me now?
It's you now.
I actually want to do the one in the top left. I don't remember the name of this one, but
That's
it's
Angular Isles.
Yes.
That's got you pull out the blocks and
Mhm.
do a little.
Some good old
This
pushing
one-
puzzles.
I think this one is C tier because there's not much going on there, but there's a couple things you can do, and like the pulling out the blocks is kind of neat, and there's a blue chew there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I feel like it stands out enough as like a landmark and has a couple nice things to collect, but isn't like a top tier island.
What do you think, Nico?
It seems like a C tier to me. I was trying to think of anything that would make it bump up. Now it does have a little cavern, right? I'm just trying to think.
That's why.
Cavern.
Yeah, I would want to. The only reason I would push for B tier is because like it has the puzzle where like you're pulling out the blocks,
Is that the
which
one
I
with
think
the
is already
light
neat.
coming down on it? Or is that a
I
different
don't.
one?
That might
Like
be a different
inside.
one. It's like oh maybe. Yeah, oh
don't
yeah,
know.
that might be. It's one of those though. I think where you
Mhm.
drop in and it's like enemies start coming from different directions.
Mhm.
If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I
Or
kind of
it's
like
like
those. Those are fun.
Yeah, it's either one of those or you get something in there, like you get a Triforce chart or something in there. I don't really remember, but
Might be a heart.
it has a cavern and it has like the main body island, where you do the block pushing puzzle,
Mhm.
which is why I would fight for B, is because like there's like 2 things to do, which is
This
Yeah.
which is more than
also
can be said about.
this isn't one of the islands where there is a Korok, is there? I don't think it is.
That's a good question.
For the little tree.
Yeah. Is there on like the other one?
Like
That
on
might
the,
be
on the
one.
small island. I don't think that's this one. I know what Diamond Step has that, I think. I'm looking through these other ones. Maybe
Yeah, we
that
need a-
is.
Identifier for him.
Maybe
Corey,
that
can
is
you
'cause-
fact check that?
I would say
I'm
the
doing some research right
cavern
now.
idea of Angular Isles, and then if you got a Korok on there too, it's definitely B tier.
Okay.
It's got 2 pieces of heart and a silver rupee. I don't think it has a Korok.
Okay, but 2 pieces of heart on this one island.
2 pieces of heart.
Is there like a big octo or something? Is that what one of them is, or I don't know. I'm convinced by B. I think I could go with B. I don't know. Feel strong B, but I'm okay
That's
with
fair.
that.
That's fair.
Boy,
We can
We need-
possibly
I
move
like
it,
this
too.
island.
Oh, yeah, I like this island.
I think
All
that
right.
makes it your pick. Yeah.
Let's do. I'm gonna hop to one that I feel like just kind of has to be a Shiver Me Timbers island, and that's Forest Haven.
Ooh.
Like, how can you not?
Mhm.
Like, I feel like it's almost unfair because most of the islands that are like big and have civilizations just like have so much more going on.
Well, yeah.
Like there are several puzzles all over the island. Obviously, there's an entrance to a dungeon, which like I'm trying not to give too much weight to that because that would make it like way too unfair.
Sure.
But just the setting of it being like in an old, what is presumably like the old Great Deku tree, or at least a very old hollowed out tree,
Mhm.
and it's got such like story importance, and this is where we get introduced to the Koroks for the first time. Like, this is a magical place.
Yeah, it's hard not to. It's not hard not to say it would go anywhere but S. Like,
Yeah.
I think having the dungeons, is like obviously, yeah. Like you don't want to just say, well, it has like this awesome dungeon, so it's great, but, it ties strongly into the story. So that makes it good.
Yeah, like the island area itself is actually pretty interesting because it's got multiple layers to it. You've got like the little climb up to get into the forest haven, like to get to the Deku tree. You've got like the little secret cave where you find Makar. You've got the Nintendo gallery.
Yeah, oh, the Nintendo gallery. I didn't even. You got a lot of reasons to come back here.
This is an island you go to a lot, and it's one that I enjoy being on for the music, for the ambiance, for the story. This is a Shiver Me Timbers S tier, no questions.
For sure. Shivering me timbers just thinking about it.
Oh, for real?
Oof.
I'm going to choose an island that I see, which is...
An island.
I see an island that I'm going to choose. It's Bomb Island.
A bomb island.
Now, this, I don't know if you're aware, you guys, but this island is actually, in fact, get this, the shape of a bomb.
What?
Come on now.
I know.
You're fooling with me.
Nope. No, very few people have noticed this. It's actually a very not well-known fact that Bomb Island is, in fact, the shape of a bomb. I think it's a fun island, too. It's pretty cute.
Ghost ship?
I'm not mistaken, yep, you got Ghost Ship.
Ghost ship.
The top that you enter into
cave.
is a cave. I don't remember what you do in there, though, on this one specifically. Can you guys...
Link and Magtails. There's some Magtails down there.
I think there's a piece of heart. Or wait a minute, you get the empty bottle here. Because remember, this is goo. No.
Yes.
Is that that might be in a submarine nearby?
Submarine. But do you count?
It's got a submarine.
I wouldn't. I don't know if I would. There's too
to
many.
It's a little dubious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little dubious of you, Bomb Island.
How dare you, Bomb
There's
Island?
a piece of art, piece of heart down there. Yeah. So it's pretty nice.
I'd say it's a B tier. It's fun shaped, and you get some goodies.
It's fun shaped.
Cute design goes a long way, I think.
Oh, we're gonna see that a little later too.
There aren't many Wind Waker islands in the shape of things, so that's very creative.
Three of them we've got at the bottom.
That's a good point. We've got dice, a crescent moon, some stars,
dice, a croissant,
a croissant. So we think B for bomb tier. B.
Yeah, B for bomb.
It's like nice. It's nice.
It's a cute island.
B for boy, it's a bomb.
It has my favorite island music.
The island.
Oh wait, no, it just gets quiet, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gets quiet and windy.
That's kind of creepy when you're on those islands.
Listen, my biggest complaint about Wind Waker is that there's no night music, and it's not something they didn't change it in HD.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, "Oh, well, then why do you think that Breath of the Wild's music is so good?" And it's because it's good. It is good. There's just no music at night in Wind Waker, and it's confusing.
Yeah.
Like, you're so epic, and it's like at nighttime.
I think it's kind of effective, but I also wish there was music.
Yeah. See, I like the dark scene music when it's all like spooky and in minor key.
Spooky.
They could have done that at night. Changed the instrumentation or something, but no. But yeah, it is a little silly. But Bomb Island has my favorite non-music in the whole game, so B tier.
What is that island in the top left, by the way? From here, it just looks
the one
like
with
the Bird's Peak Rock.
Oh, yeah. Okay, because from this angle, it looks like a bird taking a dive.
Yeah, it looks like a bird diving down.
That's pretty cool.
I kind of like this island, actually.
Yeah.
There's only like one thing to do, right? But it's an important thing. Or no, there's two things, isn't there?
Yeah, I think this is at least a required one. I think this is a Triforce Island thing.
Yeah, you got to do the bird thing for sure.
You got to do the bird. You know what's funny is this is like the only required use of the highway pair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like in pretty much the whole.
Really
game.
Annoying if you don't have one. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I actually appreciate that a lot.
There should be more though, is the thing. But that's not this
There should
island's
be more.
fault. I kind of like this island. I like the challenge, but I guess it's
Yeah.
like really the only thing going on for it. But
Mhm.
I'd feel okay just because I do like it, saying, boy, I like this island.
There is a blue choo-choo there. If that has any value for you.
That's not enough to make me feel like it could go higher than
Oh,
what I
yeah,
said,
so it
but-
definitely is
noteworthy,
blue.
but I don't care.
Yeah. I know, I would agree. I think this is a B tier. It's because it's got a really fun gimmick. I do like the high pair. But that's like all this island is.
Yeah.
Simple.
If there were more, I would push for higher. Just because I love like being a seagull and being chased around by all the Kargaroks.
Yeah,
It's really fun.
It's a weird, epic change of gameplay from the rest of the game, but I love it.
It's a Triforce chart. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I'd say B tier personally.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Nice.
All right. Why don't we follow it up then with... You want to do them both at once? You want to do the two main minigame islands? The boating course and
sure.
the flight control platform?
That's those two right there.
I was trying to figure out what
Yes.
that one was. I was like, is that the Minecraft squid?
Yeah, it is.
It
That's
totally does look
Minecraft
like
Squid
that.
Island.
Minecraft Squid Island. Wow, they were ahead of their game in 2002.
These games are fun, I think.
Yeah, I love both of these minigames. You know what's
I
something
like
that
the flying one better personally, but
I never really did the boating course that much until recently. I always did the Birdman contest more.
Yeah.
Something that I don't know if it affects our ranking at all, but just an interesting piece of trivia that I literally just learned. The two guys on the flight control platform are humans, dressed like Rito. They're not Rito.
Whoa, what?
Yeah. I never realized that
I gotta
until
look
now.
at these guys.
Their names are like Willie and his brother something else. And they're people dressed as Rito.
Obley and Willie.
Yeah, Willie and Obley.
How?
Nico is
okay. Their
shooketh
figurine
over there.
descriptions say it. Okay.
Yep.
Willie used to be a very average carpenter on Windfall. He so longed to soar the skies that he began dressing as a Rito. He's the younger of a laudable pair of siblings. So he's a carpenter.
How
Okay.
have we never?
Willie
What?
has such an unhealthy obsession with Doritos that he's begun dressing as a Rito
boy.
and running the Birdman contest.
You know what? I think this lore is influencing my opinion because now I want to put it in A tier and I want to
Whoa.
put boating course in B tier.
Well, I was gonna suggest A tier just because the game is so fun.
For both of them?
Well, more the
For-
flight control, but yeah, I like what you said.
Yeah.
Nico can't even
I'm
compute.
Nico's
I
flabbergasted
love-
at Willie and Obley.
I love the Wind Waker so much, and the fact that I did not know that.
Same. Like I've been playing this game since 2003 or whatever, and I just realized this now. Like,
What? They're just dudes. And
They're
they,
just
like I'm
guys.
looking at them in my head, and I'm like, yeah, they really are just dudes,
know what-
aren't they?
you know what I love too is that one of them has like a Waluigi mustache.
He really does.
Obley.
Are they?
Oh, Obley.
Are they supposed to be like the Wright brothers? Is that like?
Maybe.
Because wait, what are the Wright
Like,
brothers'
What are their
names?
names?
Orville and Wilbur.
Yeah, so I think they're kind of like
Obley
playing
and
off of them.
Willie.
Yeah, Willie and Obley.
Interesting. I'm all
That's
for
pretty
this
cool.
being A tier
That's
because my mind is blown. I had no idea.
That's
I
like
feel
the
like
only thing to do here, but like that's deep lore.
it's a good lore and a good mini game. My question though, the dude on the boating course island, I feel like there's a secret I learned about him not too long ago, or like something you could do. Oh God, now
The boating course?
His name is Loot.
Loot.
Yeah.
I just
me
feel
the
like there
loot.
was
I'll-
something you could do with him that I only
Let's-
found out recently. Which
me
is funny
see,
because
what
now
is,
I've just recently found out about Oblio or whatever.
Well,
Loot.
one thing he is I'll just read his thing.
Yeah.
Birthplace, Windfall Island. He's also one of the guys you can find at the cafe bar.
Oh, so
at
he gets
nighttime.
around.
Oh,
So he gets
okay.
around. This is his day job, and then he goes to the cafe bar at night. Birthplace Windfall Island. His only fear, the merman. Lute spends his days working far from home at the boating course. He takes his earnings straight to the cafe bar on Windfall to enjoy a relaxing beverage. So he's a working man who likes to drink.
He's a working man that likes to sip his hot milk. Okay.
And is terrified of the merman.
And is terrified, which, to be fair, I get it.
They're freaky.
I would be too, yeah.
They're a little creepy. Okay, I kind of want to put this one at B, but Lute, cool dude.
I have almost an objection though to our list. So we said no Tower of the Gods because it's not an island. I don't think the flight control platform. That's not an island. That's a platform.
Maybe it was built on top of an island.
Yeah. Yeah, what are the
completely covered
there?
in wood?
It didn't come from below the water. Like, it's got to be supported by something.
Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know how it's built. It's like an oil rig or something.
Yeah, it's floating. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm fine with B. I'm okay with B.
Cool.
Who's that?
That was Corey's.
That was Corey. Okay, just Louise, you guys. Okay. How about, I've talked about it already a little bit, Diamond Step, which I believe is this guy, right?
Mm-hmm. ER. Cool name for an island, I gotta say.
Great name for an island, and it's one
nice geometric shape.
I like the design for a few reasons. It very naturally has like a puzzle that you come back to once you get the what's it called? Is it a hook shot in Wind Waker?
It's a hook shot. Yeah.
Hook shot.
Yes.
Okay. So once you get the hook shot, it's like, wait, those trees on that island that I went to, I can use those now. And as you know, you go boom, boom, boom up to the top and you jump in. And I want to say that there's a Korok on Diamond Step, and the cavern is kind of cool.
Yeah, the cavern gives you the ghost ship chart.
That's right.
The warp star maze.
I don't think there is a Korok, unfortunately.
There's not Korok? Why do you think all these Koroks are places that there's not Koroks?
I know. You never know. You never know where they're going to pop up.
Listen, I'm
just used to them. Blue Choo Choo.
I'm used to the Koroks being everywhere because of Tears of the Kingdom, because I just got all the Koroks. So I'm just expecting Koroks everywhere.
This is also one of the islands that the ghost ship can appear on. So that's kind of what I like about it, is that like it's... Actually, I don't... No, you do need the chart, right? You have to get the chart to enter the ghost ship. So it is required then. But I like that it's got this weird like kinship with the ghost ship. Because it's like it has the chart is hidden there, and also the ghost ship shows up here, which is like, that's kind of cool. And it's a late game island, which is kind of interesting, because a lot of islands in this game you can get to super early on. There are some where you can get to them and you can't do anything on them, but this is one where you really can't even get onto it until later in the game.
Yeah, you can only get on that bottom section.
Yeah.
And then just walk around and you're like, well, there's other areas up there that I can't get to. But that's what I liked about it, because it is one of those like, I can't figure out how to get up there right now, but maybe I can later. Then you put it in your head that's like, oh, I got this hook shot and I can hit the trees. Maybe I can go to that island again. And you do, and it's like, boom, there you go. Important stuff for the ghost ship.
It's like banging.
I'm a big fan. I would say, boy, I like this island. Personally.
That was going to be my suggestion as well.
Yeah. I feel like B. But I also feel like it should be a tier above that one with all the blocks. But
Angular Isles.
They don't feel right
getting a little crowded.
Yeah. And I feel like I was not fully sold on it.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I'm going to rescind my praise of Angular Isles. And I say let's bump it down to C.
I think that looks good. Because I definitely like all four of these more than Angular.
Yeah, it was starting to not sit right with me. I was getting the...
Goo is festering over there, just staring at Angular Isles.
How dare Angular Isles be in the same tier? That's
so
just
rude.
Well, thank you. That's Diamond Step. Who Goo? Cool.
I like how we've gotten rid of some of these ones that have multiples, and I want to do like what's the ones with the Triforce, the goddess statue,
the Triangle Isles.
Triangle Isles. I want to get that one out of here.
Yeah.
I feel you get a cool cutscene.
Yes.
The lore is kind of cool. I don't know if you'd say lore, but it's cool. The statues, and you put the thing there, and the cutscene is cool, but that's all there really is. So it's kind of a, similar to Tower of the Gods. It's like this one epic moment that's probably the most epic moment in the game, one at the top of the series. But the island itself, I feel like, it's like I could sail by that.
They're cute.
Because I have to. You have to sail by it.
Yeah.
You do. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair assessment. There's like nothing going on, but they've got enough lore relevance and a cool cutscene.
Yeah. They don't need to be much more than that. I feel like it is kind of cool. They're these lone islands, and they make a triangle on the map. I mean, that's pretty cool, actually.
Well, that is cool too, because like it's very, very likely that you have sailed by these or maybe stopped at them before you even have to, and you're just like, what is this random triangle shaped island with this Pikmin statue on it?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think cool.
These are all surrounded by like sea hats too. Those guys are freaky.
Yeah, those guys scare me.
They kind of ruin the vibe though.
Yeah. No, I would say it's a C tier because the island itself is just like kind of meh. It's fine.
It's a step above D tier because of the cool plot relevance.
Yeah, but the islands itself are just like, okay. Yeah. That's a triangle.
Yeah. All right. Let's next do probably one of the most recognizable on this list because it's the only one that's got a picture at nighttime. Let's do Forsaken Fortress.
Oh.
And I actually want to hear what you two have to say because I'm not fully decided on this.
What do you think?
Well, I think it's cool because it is a dungeon that's sort of built into the world, like later in the game you can kind of just sail right in there and sail around it. So it's kind of a minor thing, but I think it feels very cool, and it has such a memorable skyline or whatever you could say.
It does,
like a silhouette to it.
It's a memorable silhouette in the sky,
and it's hard not to include this, but and it's like sort of a dungeon there too. But it's like I said, one built in the world. Not as cool, I think, as some of the other ones that have like civilization and stuff like that, but one where I'd probably put it in A. Because I think it's awesome. It's a great part of the game.
I really like Forsaken Fortress for a few reasons. One, like Goose said, it's just like an overworld dungeon, it's not just that, there's a dungeon there. It's like, no, it is the dungeon. Unlike Forest Haven, you go into the temple and it's like, well, that's like not on the island, that doesn't really count. This one, you could jump out into the ocean at any point, and that's just like how it is. You do return here, and you get to like defeat the Helmrock King here, which is like sitting out on its perch, which is very cool. You've got the giant shipwreck on top. Oh yeah, I love the design of this island. I would probably put it in S tier, although it's like mostly just for its relevance. As far as like design goes, just getting around it kind of sucks. And I think, especially like Wind Waker as a kid, that first section I got lost so often, and I wanted to leave this island and never come back. And it's like, oh, surprise, you're coming back.
Yeah, that's fair. It's definitely a pain to get around in the beginning.
Yes.
I don't. Oh man, I don't know. I could see it going in S or A. I think I think I'm gonna go with A tier too.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, I don't know. I'm trying not to give it too much weight for being a dungeon because that's obviously something that's super cool about it. But just like no, I'm gonna go S tier.
Whoa!
I'm gonna go S tier.
Whoa.
Because I love the positioning, like the context of it. It's positioned way up in the corner. It's supposed to feel like the farthest away. This abandoned fortress with a shipwreck on it, and like you said, it's got like probably the most iconic skyline besides like Windfall and Forbidden Wood or Forest Haven.
All these Fs.
Yeah. It's just super cool contextually. I love like the setting. I think it's a very cool island. It shivers me timbers.
Shivers your timbers.
And you know what's something that's fun is that if you go, because I was curious, I think on my return trip I was just circling around seeing what else there was to do. Old Man Ho Ho is just sitting on one of the broken ships, outside Forsaken Fortress, looking at it, and he just says something. Yeah, yeah. He says, "Whoa."
What is your job, man?
I look at stuff and say, "Oh."
He's the looker. He looks at things.
All right.
He's the reader's cousin.
For balancing our opinions, it would go in S tier. I'm gonna put it below Forest Haven technically, but S tier. If that shivers me timbers.
It shivers me timbers pretty hard.
Consider me timbers shivered.
Wait, it's not my pick.
It's my pick, I think.
Nico.
Yeah. Okay. I want to pick one that I'm really gonna fight for. I'm gonna pick the Fairy Islands because they're cute hearts. What's not to love about a cute little heart design, right? That's fun. But on top of that, they've got the fairies, and each one is like a little bit unique. You know, every fairy, as you come up to it, you can see the puzzles. Like, ooh, how do I get into this one? You know, which I think is really fun.
I do like that a lot.
And as you progress, you're like, okay, there's these giant, like, bony, spiky, buttony things. How do I get past those? You know, and then later you find the giant hammer and you're like, oh, I can go back to that fairy, which I love. As you can tell, I kind of like finding stuff and then backtracking to that. It's my Metroidvania brain makes me like scratches it in the right spot, you know? And they all have blue choo-choos. I believe all of the Great Fairy Islands have blue choo-choos.
Probably.
Some even have Koroks, so some might be better than the other, you know? But that's okay.
Yeah. They all have their own little things. I like that some of them, it's like you can just go right into them. Some of them you need bombs. Some of them you need the skull hammer.
Yeah. So overall, I really, really love these islands because not only that, but I get really excited when I would find them because I'm like, ooh, an upgrade! Like, that's exciting. I'm a big fan of the fairies in this game. Like, the design is just so cool. So personally, I would put the Great Fairy Islands in A, but I would love to hear your guys' opinions.
I agree.
Okay,
I would also put
that's fine. I pretty much agreed with everything you said, but where I was like, oh, I'd probably put it in B, but yeah, A is fine. I do love all the remembering to come back to get the rewards is cool, you know.
Yeah, I agree that like these were probably like if you're just exploring and you find a random fairy isle, that's probably like one of the more excited islands like there is to find for me. I'm like, oh sweet, because I know that they're like there's gonna be a neat little puzzle to get in there. And then I'm gonna get some sort of cool upgrade after a really cool Great Fairy cutscene.
Also say,
and that's like
the shell is also super cool. Like, come on, it's a cool like spiky conch shell. Like,
I was gonna say like the design of the inside of these islands is bonkers.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you've ever done this, but like if you just next time you're playing, go into one of these and just go into first person camera and just look straight up at all the like stuff falling down and listen to the fairy fountain music. It's like it's mesmerizing.
Good
The
design.
vibe is strong. Yeah, very strong vibe.
Strong vibes
For
on
sure.
Great Fairy Islands.
For
Nice.
sure.
Well,
Goo, it's back to you.
What's the one that looks like a fish? What's going on there?
This one,
Shark
it's a
Island?
shark. Is
Shark
it just
Island?
shark? I thought it was shark fin, but is it just shark?
I think it's just Shark Island.
Shark Island. This
Well,
one has a
great
Korok.
name.
This one has a Korok.
Okay. Urch is his
I
name.
think. Did you look it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Urch. Cyclos is flying around. He's not on the island though. Blue
He's in the area.
Choo-choo. Hidden Cave.
Hidden Cave.
Yeah, you get 200 rupees in there. I don't know. I think it's a charming shape and it's got a couple fun things to do. So, I don't know. I don't know if that puts it for me in B, probably B or C. Kind of average C. It's a fun shape though.
I think
let's
it's
be
probably
real.
one of the,
It doesn't look a lot like a shark. It's a
I can
weird.
see the shark.
It looks like a
It's
shark.
like a shark going like that.
But like, what's up with the other fin? Not to be like rude, but like,
Yeah,
what's
it's
up with the
kinda,
other
like,
fin,
little.
dude?
The fin's
It's-
kind of little.
Kind of like a
it's like
Finding Nemo
a-
fin.
It's like flopping, it's like in a weird
Uh-huh.
position. It's doing this.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
I think this is probably like one of the cooler just random island puzzles. Like there's not a lot to do there. But that puzzle, I think it also is one where like pretty sure you need the iron boots.
Yeah,
I think you
so.
need the skull hammer. Like yeah, I think it's really cool that it's not just
Oh.
like
Okay.
you can come here at any point and like press all the 4 switches and then you're done. This is one where like you're probably gonna come here, explore, and be like, all right, I gotta get in that hole down there, but I can't because there's something I can't do.
Okay.
And I think it's neat that they make you use a bunch of different items for the puzzles. So I would probably fight for B.
Okay. I could see that then. Yeah.
I like that. It's both kind of annoying and kind of cool because I remember playing it and coming back and being like, all right, I got the thing, and then it's like, oh wait, I need another thing. Crap. Yeah.
Oops.
But
Oops.
I like that.
Nice.
Okay. B's good. B's good.
Good B.
Cool. Is it me?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do Horseshoe Isle or Horseshoe Island or whatever. It's the top right.
Oh, okay.
You play golf on this island. So
Sounds
like
pretty cool.
it's awesome. It's sick. You play golf with the Deku leaf, and you got to blow the ball across the little vine barrier and get it into the hole, and that's very cool.
I
It's a fun
have
puzzle.
to quote Miranda here though, who said, "Don't let Golfing Island win." So we can't be too nice to it.
Ooh.
The golf is what tier did you want to put it in?
I did not have a suggestion yet.
Okay, I
But
thought
Corey's
I
like,
thought you
I was
said-
going to put a nest here. What do I?
yeah.
Well, I do love it. It's a great island.
It
Yeah,
also
that actually-
it also has a hole. I think.
Oh yeah, we should find
Old
where
Man
all
Ho-Ho?
he is. Yeah.
I think he's on here.
All the old man ho-ho locations.
Street S.
Actually, I like the golfing mini game.
I think it's
Thing.
cute.
All you get from this island are treasure charts. But like, you know what? Who doesn't want to just like take a break from their adventure and go play some golf?
That's a good point.
You
Feels
know?
like another B for me.
Don't all heroes want to do that?
All heroes play golf.
I do. Yeah.
That's what they say. It's a very famous saying.
Where
Where
do you want to put
What do
it?
you think, Nico?
I would say B. Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
It's like a fun novel. That's where we're putting kind of the like, yeah, this one's pretty fun.
It's like it's
For the
got
ones where
enough.
It's like, boy, I like this island.
Yeah, it's like enough. It's nothing super special, and it doesn't suck. B. Yeah.
It doesn't
That's
suck. Yeah,
It doesn't suck. Horseshoe Island. It doesn't suck.
It doesn't visit us. We don't suck. Okay. Here's one that connects to my last choice because I did Great Fairy Islands last time. This time I'll go with Mother and Child Isle.
okay.
Which I also think is very cool.
Yeah.
Because you could sail up to it and you just go in the little doopy doo outside the child isle, one might say. And it's like, oh, okay. This is a kind of a boring island. What's that over there?
To be fair, even on the little island, you got a Korok, you got a merchant.
And you got a merchant.
Yeah, merchant. Yeah.
And a blue choo-choo.
Jeez Louise.
Whoa.
That child isle.
That's actually
this is a
kind
populated
of a lot.
child isle.
Yeah.
How do those three coexist, you know? Do you
They're
think they ever
Why do
talk?
they not just battle each other?
Fight.
You just show up one time and like the merchant has been replaced by the blue choo-choo who's trying to sell you stuff.
What's flowers? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to stick up for Child Island a little bit.
I do think Child Isle it holds it does pull its weight. I agree.
It does.
However, Mother Isle, not island, Isle, Mother Isle is the one that kind of really pulls me in because you get to meet the Queen of the Fairies, who is very cool. The design in there is awesome, and it's like a fun little surprise on how to get there because, you know, you do the what is it called? What's the song called?
Close
Ballad
one.
of Gales.
The Ballad of Gales, yes. And
because you are like, how do I get in there? You know?
Yeah, and you have no idea. And then
that is something that's cool.
You go through all your different options of places once you get that song finally, and you're like, oh, cool, I can finally fast travel, which is like awesome in this game, especially. And you're like, wait, Mother Child Isle, and you go, and then you're suddenly like inside, and it's like, oh, and then
that's so rad.
You get fire and ice arrows, which is like especially sick. So, I mean, I would personally put this in S tier because I think the puzzle to get in is really cool. You get a super cool reward, a really cool character, plus you got the bonus characters on Child Isle. I think it's like all wrapped up into like a perfect little wead, you know? Wead is Mother and Child Isles.
Wead Isle.
Yeah. What do you think? I might be overstepping here, but what do you think?
You make a strong argument for Mother and Child Isles. What do you think, Goo?
I might be convinced. Yeah. I was gonna say
something
A,
else.
But I was so
convinced. I was also gonna say A, but something else that I think is cool. That's like it leads to this. This is a spot where I could realistically see someone who's playing the game for the first time just getting completely stuck, because it's at the point where you need to go to the mini dungeons to get the entrance. The mini dungeons where you need to go to Ice Ring Isle and Fire Mountain to get the items that you need to go to the next dungeons in the game, right? And you know you have to go there, but what's cool is that there are some of the fishmen, some of the mermen that are hinting like, oh, there's this crazy island where you can get these powers like 2 squares north and 3 squares west of here or whatever. And it's said to house like this special power that'll let you get onto that island or whatever. So it's definitely reasonable that even before then you've gone to this island and been like, how do I get in there? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
How do I get into this big old thing? And you get the Fairy Queen, who is amazing and has probably one of the coolest renditions of Fairy Fountain in like the whole series, in my opinion.
The creepy little like crank music box, the,
like
sound.
Toy box.
Yeah.
Very, very, very spooky. So I think I would be okay with S tier, I think.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Shiver me timbers, Mother and
Shiver
Child
me timbers.
Isle. Nice.
Made a compelling argument.
You won me over.
Full wead, baby.
I think I want to do the other one in the top left, which is Cliff Plateau Islands.
Yes.
I looked it up. It's one that is memorable to me mostly because you are pretty likely going to go buy it, like on the main thing. You don't really go out of your way. And I had to look, but I see there's like, okay, it's got a Korok, treasure chart, blue choo-choo. It's got those things they put on there. But and it's got like an okay little puzzle thing you do to get from one to the other. But it doesn't stick out to me as like one of the more fun ones, you know. I'd probably say like C. If it was, you know, if it wasn't on the main path, would I always want to go check it out? I don't know, but it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
I think I had to look again because this is one of the less memorable ones for me, but it is also a required one because it's like a Triforce chart and shard, I think, or at least one of them.
I didn't see that
You didn't see either of those?
on Cliff Plateau. No, I'm looking at the Zelda Dungeon wiki, and I don't see that. But
Cliff Plateau Isles has a treasure chest containing a treasure chart, and a Triforce shard lurks beneath the
Triforce
waves.
shard. Oh, beneath the
Okay.
waves.
That's
Not
not
on the island.
That's not on
Treasure-
the island.
No, sorry.
No.
A treasure chart, not a Triforce chart. You are correct.
Yes.
Treasure chart,
So,
boring.
I think I would still fight for B because this is the one where, like, when you get inside, there are all of these like floating wooden platforms that you can like rotate
Okay.
with the
So
wind.
this one has a Korok too. Okay, nice.
It does,
Mhm.
and you have to like. There's like a cool little platform.
It's a very unique puzzle down there.
Yeah.
There's a
That's a good
couple that
point.
have like the Deku Leaf based puzzles, which I think are fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. So I would fight for B, but also C's looking a little sparse, so I'd be fine with C if you want to do that.
I'd
See for
probably
Cliff
sail.
Plateau.
I'd probably sail right by it unless I was told I had to go to it.
Wow.
If I'm being honest.
It's fair.
So
I think if it had a fun shape, that might push it over the
Yeah.
edge for me.
it doesn't
You
have
don't
a fun
think Cliff
shape.
Plateau is a fun shape?
I've seen
The
cliffs.
actual
I've seen
thing where you-
plateaus.
We have to navigate from the thing to pop up on the other one. That's kind of cool, but yeah, I don't know.
Gotta use the hook
Is it
shot.
cool enough? Okay.
I don't
So,
know. I don't feel strongly about it. We can put it in C.
C.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine with me.
C's fine.
C's fine.
The fact that we had to look up every single thing about it.
Yeah, and I felt at this point it's
Yeah.
like reading a laundry list.
Yeah.
Okay, it's got the blue cheat. It's
Yeah.
like,
I
well,
did
all
totally
Child Island has all that stuff, you know.
It's true. Yeah, so that doesn't really count for anything.
All right, cool. I
Um,
think it's
Corey.
Corey.
Yeah.
Me? All right. Let's do Great Fish Isles.
Greyfish Isles. This
Okay.
one's all toe up.
Yeah, it's all toe up. And this is one where it's like there's a merchant there. I think there might be like a piece of heart there or something.
It's the one you gotta like you get to the top of the little spirally thing and you like fly over with the wind. It's kinda like tricky. It's a cool little puzzle.
And I think there's also a Korok there. And
It's checking the boxes. Yeah.
and also the ghost ship can appear there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wow.
all those things being said, I actually kind of want to put this in like C tier, I think. Because it's required. It's obviously a huge story moment where like you get there and it's
Yeah.
like, whoa, this is crazy. This whole thing got torn apart. But like just we kind of talked about this in Gooey's Dungeon Dive a little bit. Like just knowing that it was kind of it feels very much like they ran out of time and decided that they weren't going to put a civilization there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're just like, okay, let's just be like, whoa, it was destroyed by Ganondorf, you know?
It's kind of like
It's
big
kind of a
letdown
disappointment.
island.
Exactly. Great Disappointment Island.
Yeah, like you go there and it's just a Rito, and he's like, "Oh no, by the way, there was a guy, a big whale here. He wants to help you, but he's somewhere else now. And we were gonna build a dungeon, but we didn't finish it in time for the game to release, so it's not here. So go somewhere else now." It's like okay,
And this section, the Neverending Night section or whatever, like it's cool and it's like a really cool change of pace, I think.
I do like
like,
that a lot.
Out
Yeah,
of context, but it's like I don't know. It just makes me as an island. It's like it's cool for that part in the story right there, and then otherwise I don't want to go there.
yeah, that's fair. What do you think, Goo?
I'm okay with C. Like
Yeah.
Corey suggested. I like that. I kind of like the twist that it's like, oh man, it's all messed up, but at the same time, yeah, it's a little disappointing that it's like because it's not even like knowing that. It's like it kind of feels like that in the game a little bit too. Like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, so there's like, something's like missing. I feel like a little
Yeah.
bit, but
Yeah.
So
Because then for the rest of the game, there's just a broken island. And it's like, all right, well, yeah, I already got the 2 treasures and talked to the merchant, so might as well get out of here.
yeah, it's like I could sell by this because I'm done with it. I had to, and I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Great Disappointment Island goes to
Yeah.
C tier. That's fair. I'm gonna go with what I believe is it Pawprint Isle or just Paw
Mhm.
Yes.
Island?
Pawprint Isles.
Pawprint Isles.
Or island.
Cute shape. A fun little
Cute
cavern.
shape.
I think it's got a cute cave because there's like different sections of it that you go to. It's kind of got like the central area, and the little like dome thingy on it is
Yeah.
very random, but I kind of like it. It's shaped like a paw print, very cute. But it doesn't
Very
like
cute, very
stand
cute.
out. I would probably put it in B because I do like that it's a little bit more unique as far as the caverns go.
Yeah,
But that's about it. Pretty simple.
stands out to me because it's like the first island, like while sailing, that you can explore. Like
Yes.
apart from like the islands they bring you to, but this is like
Mhm.
when you're first out sailing, it's like, oh, and it kind of does give you like a good idea of what that could be like because there's all the different types of enemies you find, and you get some rewards or whatever. And I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. I could agree with your placement.
I actually kind of want to push for A tier. And hear me out.
Whoa.
Like we said, once you get control of the sailing, this is the first island you see. It's likely the first island anyone's going to explore besides Windfall.
Mhm.
And I feel like this is a benchmark example of how all of the rest of the like hidden cavern islands should have been done. Because you get here and you crawl, you only have access to the main island because the little fingers of the paw print are only accessible once you get a hook shot.
Mhm.
But you can crawl in there and you go down and it's like there are different branches, but if you want to fully explore this island, you have to come back with like 4 separate items. Because
That's
there's one
true.
branch that you need bombs to get through. And like the rewards aren't anything crazy. There's like a piece of heart and like a joy pendant and some rupees and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But there's one section where you need bombs to get through. There's a section where you need the grappling hook to climb all the way up and then you can get some rupees.
Oh
The
yeah.
the inside of it itself, for whatever reason, is like a choo-choo haven. Like there's a bunch of choo-choos
Oh,
there.
there's a ton. Yeah.
And it has like, for some reason it has like a weird distinct like theme. Like this is the little choo-choo inside. There's weird things hanging off the ceiling. And then once you get the hook shot, you can get to one of the fingers, which has another hidden cave,
Mhm.
which has like whiz robes and stuff. And it's like,
Oh,
it's
I
like,
didn't know that. I
yeah,
remember
so
it.
you can. It's like, why didn't they do that with pretty much all of these islands? Where it's like, you come back, there are several different areas you can explore
And there's a
depending on what you've
couple
done
for
so
sure,
far.
but
Yeah, yeah, especially like some of the later game ones, like we talked about, like Shark Island. You need the iron boots and you need the skull hammer and stuff like that. I like islands
Mhm.
like that where it's like you can do stuff there, but there's reasons to come back after you've unlocked more stuff. And you said like some of those other islands like ticked the Metroidvania crave in your brain. Like this island does that for me because it's like I get a new item and I'm like, oh, I can go back to Pawprint Isle because there's something else there.
You've convinced me. Yeah, I'd
I'm
agree
for
with
it.
A.
Yeah. I think it's cool.
Pawprint Isle.
Let's go. All right, Goo, it's your choice.
Do we want to talk about maybe at the same time, Gale and Headstone Island?
Sure, that makes sense. These two bad boys.
So these
right
are
here.
ones where I've
Oops,
kind of said
sorry.
it.
Sorry. Accidentally put it in D
Uh-oh.
tier.
I've said this about both of them. Like I like how they're weaved into the progression and the storyline and stuff like that. And it's like cool. You can go there and see the thing you need, and there's a whole, you can come about it multiple ways. But at the same time, these specific islands themselves, and they contain dungeons, but the
Yeah.
islands themselves are a little just like, and here's the entrance to the dungeon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the only purpose of the islands.
One has
There's
a
a
heart
puzzle.
container on one of them. On one of them, there's the extra like hideaway pair, which is cool. So for that, I wouldn't say they're bad because I like how they play into the the overall game and stuff like that. But they're like lacking just a little bit. So I don't know. Maybe C tier is where I'd want to throw them. What do you guys think?
I would kind of agree with C for both, just because like there's one puzzle each, and then you get a super cool cutscene where you have to play one of the two Wind Waker songs.
Wait, which one is it? Is it this one or is it this one? They're very similar. It's this one.
Both of those. Those are the two we're talking about.
Oh, not this one. It's got a headstone. I'm talking. Okay, yeah. I was thinking it was this one. This is a different island.
That's Stone Watcher. Right?
That's right. Yes. Thank you. Of course. Okay,
but yeah, it's right. But I think I agree with C because I think it's very likely that besides going there for the things you have to do there, like after that, like you are for sure sailing by them. There's like no reason to go back to them, pretty much.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go back into the dungeon for like a treasure chest you missed or something, but like I wouldn't even attribute that to the island.
No. The islands themselves are pretty boring. They serve their purpose, and they're definitely not D tier because you do have to drop your anchor there.
You do have to drop anchor there.
So I don't know.
So we want to say C. I'm okay with C.
Yeah. They're far from impressive.
That's cool. All right. So then, what do we want to follow that up with the doing another twofer where you have to go to these two before going to those two, so we can do Fire Mountain and Ice Ring Isles?
Yeah.
Or Ice Ring Isle.
What I think is cool, I've said it, is that you can kind of approach these all in different ways, and like the fishman can help guide you, and like there's just like different ways you can encounter this in the world. This is like one of the only more open-ended bits of the game, so like it gives me a fondness for all of them a little bit, but these ones maybe a little bit more because they stand out a little bit more as their specific islands.
This is another thing too where I kind of wish they had followed more of like the Ocarina of Time model, where there were like actual mini dungeons in here, whereas like the things you get are still cool, and it's cool that it's like a timed challenge, which is one of the only times in Wind Waker you have something like this. But it's like both of them kind of feel a little bit like I wish there was more here, but you get cool puzzles on the inside. Are we thinking same tier or different tiers?
I think about them similarly in my mind. Like I might like one more than the other, but I think they're both cool in the same way, and
I view them about the same.
I kind of like both the puzzles or both the challenges. I like slipping on the ice a little bit more, actually.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like Ice Ring Isles more, definitely.
I'll also say just like for their, like just to kind of put them where I think they should go, they are some of the most unique islands in the game. Like
they really stand out.
Yeah, I mean they really do, because I mean you look at them, there's not any grass, there's no trees. I mean, you look at half the islands, more like 90% of the islands on this are there's some grass and bushes and trees, grass, bushes and trees. They all look in one way or another almost exactly the same, just different shapes. These two are a volcano and a giant dragon head surrounded by ice. Pretty cool. Unique islands. So that they have that going for them.
Pretty early on too.
Yeah, very noticeable. Like I want to go there.
You sail by Fire Mountain. You have to on your way to the second dungeon, which is cool. And yeah, you're hinted at these locations several times. I think Ice Ring Isle is significantly cooler just because it's got treasure on the outside, and the challenge itself I think is more fun. And there's also another hidden cave inside Ice Ring Isle.
Yeah.
Which I don't think Fire Mountain has, but like I think they're both pretty awesome for what they do. So I would put them both in A tier. I think
That's where I
if we
put
want
them.
to keep them
I'm
together.
down with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they belong there just for like what you get. Like, yeah, I wish that they had more to them because I would have loved if they were full on like mini dungeons. They're really just like you go inside and it's a puzzle. But it would have been cool if there was like a full mini dungeon in there. But I digress. Good
That put
islands.
them in S. That put them in S.
Oh, 100%.
For sure.
100%. Good islands. Good
is that
choices.
Good islands.
I think it's me.
Okay, sorry.
I will, however, grab Stonewatcher because I grabbed it earlier on accident. I don't remember what you do here. What am I forgetting?
There's a Stone Watcher.
There's a Stone Watcher.
Why can't I not remember this?
I'm pulling up the ZD wiki and it says, at first glance, this island seems to be useless.
Well,
there's a cave full of monsters, and if you defeat them all, you get Triforce chart number 7.
Okay.
A piece of heart is on the platform east of the island.
It's kind of unmemorable for being a little bit more unique for a plain island.
Lifting the stone head is you know, you do it in more memorable spots in other parts of the game.
With stone heads.
Yeah.
There is a blue choo-choo though.
Yeah, shut up.
All right, S tier then.
I don't know. I kind of don't really care about this island. I know it's a Triforce chart and you have to go here. But like
I agree. It's like this is one where like I wouldn't remember to go there.
Yeah.
I do.
Like if you were doing a run and you're like, I got to get all of them real quick. I'm going to beat my PB, and they're like, you didn't go to Stonewatcher Island, and you're like, well, yeah, of course I didn't. Who cares about Stonewatcher Island?
Yeah. It is cool though that you can like. It's one where you can get there and not be able to do anything and be like, I have to come back when I can do something about this giant head.
I can pick up these giant heads now. That's cool.
Yeah.
And you have to do that to enter a dungeon. You could get it before entering that dungeon, but you know, if you get it then that's when you're really like, oh, the heads, you know. So you remember like seeing this one, but I think you'd mainly remember seeing the one on Outset, and you'd be like, what one was this on? Is this on Headstone Island, or is it you do what Nico did earlier, you know, where it's like
what's the difference? I'll say I wouldn't be like, oh, Stonewatcher Island, boy, I like that island.
I think C tier is appropriate.
Yeah,
it's not total garbage.
Yeah. It's one of the less memorable and cool Triforce islands. But I do think one thing I want to give it credit for is I think it's one where when you drop down, you go in the middle and it's like one of those like gauntlet setups
where
like fun. You have to go into the different rooms and fight the different enemies, and then dark nuts appear in the middle or whatever, which is sweet, but
it's not enough. That's all over the game. It's like whatever, nothing special.
Yeah.
Good job, Stonewatcher.
I want to talk about one that is like one of those ones where there's one thing here, but I actually think it's kind of fun, and that's the Islet of Steel, which is
that's
just
this guy, right?
Yeah, it's just this tiny little fort with the rocks jutting out from it. Which I think the design is kind of cool that they built this sort of little. And it's just you just got to fight some ships to get in, to get a Triforce. What is it? A Triforce chart in there? Yeah,
chart. Yeah, it's a chart.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a more memorable one because I always feel like it's fun. Like it's one of those times where like it's required for you to like ship battle, and it's kind of epic. So
it's
personally, I would put it in B. Because it's got the one thing, but the one thing is a very fun, memorable moment.
It's unique, which I do like, but it's not as cool as like the fire and ice. You know, there's fire, ice, and steel, and steel's like, okay, you can go down.
Steel type. I put it in B. I put it in B. I agree. It's another one where it's like. It's kind of on the other end of the Stonewatcher Isle, where like I always remember I got to go to the Islet of Steel because it's very memorable. You know, even though there's not a ton you can do there. I actually don't think you even have to fight anyone. I think you can just go in And you have to like play.
I think
don't you have to play the Wind's Requiem?
Yes.
It's like one sitting.
I think there's one in the entryway that you like for sure have to take out.
Oh.
And the other ones, I think there's a golden one that you can like take out and then you can grab the treasure from it. But no, there's one in the entryway that you for sure have to take out. But it is a cool island. I like it. It's a good, it's like, oh, they're protecting the Triforce chart. You know, it's kind of fun.
All right. Is it me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do one of the ones that's also kind of forgettable. It's Rock Spire Isle or Rock Spire Island. It's that one that's just like straight up a diagonal line.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
It looks like a poop.
That's
it kind of looks like a
the one
snake.
where like it's weird from that angle, but it's like when you're pulling up to it laterally, it's got like it's one of those ones where like you have to get to the edge and throw a bomb and time it to blow up a rock so that you can get to the next platform. And then like at the end of it there's a cave.
I despise timing my bomb throw puzzles. However, then people just tell me, "Oh, just get in the King of Red Lions and shoot it with a cannon." And I'm like,
that makes too much sense.
How dare you?
I would never do that.
I would never think of that. I'm like, no, it's a puzzle you have to solve on the island. How dare you? Yeah. It's fine. It's like not special though.
So according to this, there are 3. Well, this is probably counting stuff that's in the area. So let me.
Is there like an octo in the square?
You get a treasure chart from going. You go down. You light some torches. You fight some keys.
Oh, you know why? This is the square where Masked Beetle's ship shows up. So that's why it says in this square that you can get a bottle, you can get a bunch of pieces of heart.
That's all from Beetle.
Chart.
Yeah, I don't think this island's that special.
That's why maybe this is a nice place to drop anchor, because you're like so close to the ship.
What are you talking about?
It's true.
You drop anchor at the ship.
It doesn't only show up here.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's not the worst. C tier.
You did say it's shaped like a poo.
It's shaped like a poo. Or a
Who
big
said
poo.
that?
Gooey said it.
I'm sorry, it's inappropriate.
This is Zelda Dungeon. Gooey, you can't say that.
My goodness.
I can't say poop.
You can't say poop.
You have to.
We'll get demonetized. YouTube will demonetize us for saying poop. Okay. I'm gonna pick this bad boy right here. Salvatore, that's his name?
Yeah. That's Spectacle Island.
Yes.
Oh.
Because it's like the glass. This is the side view, but if you were to look straight down on it, in the like the circle thing, and then the little bridge is like the ridge of the glasses.
And he's on his little tower there, just waiting to play a mini game with you.
This mini game is very fun. I really like this mini game.
It is very fun.
It's also kind of hard. I think it's probably, besides Sploosh Kaboom, because that's kind of luck, right? Like, besides that, as far as like skill goes, this is probably the hardest mini game in Wind Waker. It's pretty
Mail
difficult.
Mail sorting is pretty hard.
Mail sorting is right there with if you want like top tier.
Yeah.
But no, I think this island is cute. It's got like a little fort, right? It's got a Salvador who's like a funny NPC, who's just like so depressed.
And a blue choo-choo.
It's got a blue S. Straight up. No, okay. I like this island. I actually think it's really fun. As far as like plain like simple islands go, I would put it in B. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight for A tier, I think.
Tell me more.
Because it's got, well, I mean, look at some of the other ones we put in A tier. We have the flight control platform.
Oh,
well,
good point.
It's like, it reminds me a lot of that, where it's like sick minigame. It doesn't quite have the deep Willy and Obly lore, but it's Salvatore. It's Salvatore. And who doesn't love when Salvatore has his little
castle.
Like, yeah, he's got his little castle. He's got a different show where he's got his little cutouts and he pretends to be like Tetra. And he's like, oh, we have to.
He also has a Pirates one, right?
Yes, that's.
Where I think he's pretending to be Nico.
I think he also pretends to be Tetra in this.
Oh my goodness. Okay, A.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote
Well,
A.
so Salvatore's there. It's a sweet mini game. I also well, Ghost Ship can appear there too. A neat little
Like
extra
that.
thing. But what I really love about this is that it's just an Easter egg. It's a nod to Spectacle
it's
Rock.
Spectacle Rock.
It's the spectacle location in
For
the
the
Zelda
game.
game,
which is
and
cute.
I think that's pretty sweet.
I would say A then. I'll go with you for that.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's the castle's more memorable than like the racing. You know, when I'm just thinking about even that,
just
just the way it
flag,
looks. More fun, you know.
I do
And
like
there's
the
a blue
little, the
choo-choo.
little castle. There's a blue choo-choo.
And there's a blue choo-choo.
I also just kind of like the design of, not all of these have a good beach. You know, a lot of these are just rock that go up. This one actually has a beach, which is kind of cool.
You could chill there. I would drop anchor here.
I'd chill.
Play some games, hang out, go back to Windfall.
Hang out with Salvatore, get to learn more about him.
Yeah, and then we'll go meet Loot at the milk bar.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I want to talk about Needle Rock.
Needle Rock?
The big old weird looking one, which
This
I think
is a
already
funky one.
It's fun because it is like one of the most memorable looking islands.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one where there's a Triforce related thing here, right? Or is that
there's a Triforce chart? Yeah.
Oh, but that's in a ship.
Well,
that's in a ship.
Golden ship. Yes.
Yeah.
So you know it's a little iffy there, and then there's a.
I would count it.
Okay.
No.
But the ship only hangs out here. I don't know.
It only hangs out in here. Okay.
All right, fine.
I will say though, I think it's a
dubious,
cool
but-
island. I think it's a cool island.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, there's like a heart piece puzzle, highway pair thing.
Mhm.
I don't know,
That's cool.
Korok. I think it's mostly for me just that it's memorable looking. It's not really.
It's a unique island.
It's not like one of the best islands, I would say, but it's kind
I
of.
think this is one where like a lot of times, especially back in the day, I would show up and be so confused because like there's a fire ring and I'm like, okay, well I can't do anything here though. And it just has those pots that are in the water that disappear when you get close. And I'm like, am I supposed to do something with these? Like what the heck?
There's a lot of weird stuff going on around it.
Yeah. And it's like you gotta if you don't know, you gotta use the highway pair to hit the thing.
Yeah. Which, as a big fan of the highway pair, I like that this is another good puzzle, a good use of that.
Well, yeah, one of the other only required uses of the highway pair.
It's like a fun island though. I just like as a kid, I remember coming back to this island and like this is just like one of them that I remembered a lot because it's a fun, unique design.
I don't feel like that strongly about it though.
Oh no, it's fun.
I don't either. This is
I
one of
give
my
it a-
lower. I would B. I think I was
B?
thinking B.
I give it
I'm
like a
between
boy.
B and C.
I like this island.
B just for
Oh.
being kind of memorable, I think.
I would say it's better than C tier.
okay.
Okay.
That's
It's not
fine, that's
great
fine.
disappointment isle.
No, you're right. It's definitely not.
Yeah, it's not a disappointment necessarily. Yeah.
No, it's cute. You get some good stuff there. It's cool. Is that you, Corey? I think it's you.
Is it? Okay. Let's do, because I was just eyeballing it. We're going to do Overlook Island,
That's
which is the one
This
that's
guy?
got, yes, that guy right there.
This one's kind of unique.
Yeah. This is kind of a funky one because it's like, it's almost got a similar feeling to Forsaken Fortress to me, probably just because it's one of the corner ones, but it feels like it's way out there. It's surrounded by a bunch of warships for whatever reason. You can only get up to the top by using the
hook shot.
the hook shot. I'm
One
trying
of
to
the late game Triforce chart. It's like one of
it's
the last ones you
interesting-
can
Oh
actually
yeah,
get.
yep.
Yeah, but it's interesting to me because it's like, what is this island? Like, it's got these
Yeah,
like
that's-
tower things. Like, what is that?
Yeah, that's why it's like it's called Overlook Island, and I'm like, who's looking over? Like you can see a bunch of the Great Sea from here. It's a great view, but like, why is this here?
I don't know.
You
It's a
know?
weird spot. It's kind of mysterious.
It's a cool like, yeah, it's got like a cool weird like world thing for me where I'm like, why is this one here?
I really like to think of the islands in like, okay, think of Hyrule
And why is it patrolled
unflooded.
by warships? Like,
yeah, I like to think of the of Hyrule like unflooded. Like, what would this be? Like, are these actual like were they watchtowers to
Yeah, I
like
think
literally
so, yeah.
watch over Hyrule or like protect it because it's in the corner? So is it protecting it from like outside forces? Was this like is this like a Kala Citadel? Is it like that type of situation where you're like high up so you can see enemies coming?
Yep.
Maybe? I don't know.
in the corner of the region, like it's got to have some sort of relevance. Other than that, it's kind of just like an island, but it's that air of mystery that kind of makes me, and it's a required because the Triforce chart or shard or whatever is there. So like,
it kind of reminds me of a better version of the Pooh Island, where it's like you get there and it's like just this weirdly shaped thing. Better, yeah. So I'd put it probably a tier above that.
Tier above Pooh Isle.
Yeah, tier above Pooh.
It's cool.
B for better Pooh.
No.
Oh, no.
I will pick.
It's all heaters left.
So this is. Oh yeah, this next island. I don't know if you guys know this. Is the exact shape of a big old splat. The exact shape of a splat of stuff. This island. What is this?
Another Pooh Island.
What is this?
Pooh Splat Island. Star Island.
It is Star Island. Okay, can I just
It's just Star Island.
Can I just like throw it in C tier? I don't even like this. Like, what's the point? There's a Korok in the middle of it, and then there's some rocks, and I think there's a cavern.
Secret grotto.
I think so. Yeah. There's a piece of heart.
Rupees.
It's a really boring island.
Mini blends. Underground grotto.
You know what?
No, it's the one where you fight the guys to get a piece of heart, though. That's kind of cool.
But there's blue choo-choos there too. Yeah. No, you know what's something that's super annoying about this island too is that it's surrounded by a bunch of explosive barrels that pop up in front of you when you try and get close. Like it's one of those where like you're trying to sail towards it and it's like, oh.
It's a B or a C for me, but it's kind of really, I guess, what Corey thinks.
I want to put it definitely lower than B.
Okay, so C. It's
I'm
not
almost
a D tier.
tempted. Yeah, I guess not. I have the urge to put it in D tier, but I can't justify that. There's a blue choo-choo.
These are literally just nothing. These are
are we sure there's not on the other ones? Okay.
Actually, I think Crescent Moon Island does have a blue choo-choo.
Shut up.
No, that island sucks.
It's already in D tier. It's dead to me. There are no blue choo-choo.
Gooey, quick before anyone in the comments can say anything. What's your next island?
What's I'm like having a hard time seeing this now. What's the one in the direct middle? Yeah,
that is
Private Oasis.
Private Oasis.
It is. Okay, well, that's an awesome island for sure.
Yeah, straight to D tier.
That's one where you want to drop anchor and stay there.
Yeah, for sure.
Grab
a margarita.
Absolutely.
It's an A or a B tier island. Or sorry, an A or S tier island, I would say. Yeah, A or S. What? I messed up.
Yep.
Because just it's such a cool, memorable island. The fact that it's like kind of yours is super cool, and it's got the slide puzzles and the little like labyrinth underneath.
The like spooky labyrinth with the there's some like weird lore here because you've got the Redeads, you've got the creepy rat nest, you've got a Triforce shard, or is this a? I think
it's a shard, but in the original, I think this is one that changed.
So it's like like what is going on this island? It's got Korok. You have to own the island. You've got the weird door janitor, not janitor,
butler door.
Butler dude. He's like, wow, what are you doing here? He's like, you're like, oh, I own you now.
If you show up and you don't own it, he's like, disgusting.
I would say,
peasant, get away.
I would say that the Private Oasis is an S tier personally because it's
what's not to like.
It's a little slice of paradise, man.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely vote S tier.
Let's do
Yeah?
This is one where it's like
Yeah.
I think it's sick. This is another one where, similar to like Overlook Island, it's like what you mentioned with the lore of like, why is all of this crazy stuff underneath? But in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, I just got this cabana deed from some teacher in Windfall Island, and it's like, what family owned this land where a Triforce shard was hidden, and like, it's just like, why is this here? You know,
Maybe
like, how did they get this?
maybe
and why does this
Miss
teacher have it?
Joy, maybe she's like the impa of this game and we just didn't realize it.
Oh man,
Important lady.
Wait, there's not an impa in Wind Waker.
she drowned.
She
Dang.
Wow. Or maybe she
Yeah, she did.
King.
washed up on a
She
mysterious oasis and
No, she did.
yeah, she did. Okay, it's fine.
This is a nice. I like the butler. I love the slide puzzles. I love the secret thing.
I actually hate
It's
the
cool.
slide puzzles and I still want this S tier.
There's a Korok too.
Yeah. This has nothing to do with our actual list, but I want to point out that between Angular Isle and the Triangle Isles, the waves make like a cute little heart. Do you guys see that?
Oh
Look at
yeah.
that.
Oh,
Move
cute
it.
little heart.
Move it.
Aw.
Too much love.
Screw it. Now it's a messed up heart.
Get out of
Oh.
I'll get the heart
here.
back.
Still looks kind of cool.
Oh.
I like the heart. Is that
Corey.
Oh, all right. Let's do.
now we got some bangers.
Wow, heavy hitters left.
Yeah, we saved
want-
some
we-
good ones.
All right,
Close it out strong.
all right. Let's do Tingle Island.
Yes.
Which
We
I
gotta
never
do it.
noticed from
It's shaped
Above.
like Tingle.
looks like Tingle. His head.
It's shaped
Didn't
like
realize
Tingle's
that.
head. Yes.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. He's a vain guy.
It's shaped like him, and it has that freaking big totem. It's got a totem.
It's got a totem
It's got a totem. It's
with
got a-
like the
that's
fairy
pretty
boys
incredible.
and the moblin head that I love
There's
looking
so much
at.
lore.
There's so much lore.
David
Got
Jr.
David Jr. David Jr.
Yeah, this is one of the
statues?
only islands. The level of slavery compared to the other islands in this game, it ups it by
This is not-
100%.
Don't you dare say tier S for what I think you're gonna say.
I don't know where to put it. It's cool because of Tingle and all that stuff. And you have to go back to it
A lot.
at least like once or twice. So
This tower was built by Knuckle when he was 10 years old.
10 years old.
A 10-year-old crafted this immaculate totem.
And have you guys seen the
and
inside
then
of
Tingle
the
took all the
tower?
credit.
Yeah, typical
The
Tingle.
inside of the tower.
Yeah, it was like a room that they built out, and it was like not actually put
Oh.
like in the game, but like
Oh my god!
it's a 3D space that exists in the code of the game, and it looks like
That's
a
wild.
mad person's room. Like it's scribbles all over the walls, and like it's kind of freaky.
I think it's A tier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A for Tingle.
It's pretty awesome, but there's not really that much actually there. But you gotta go back,
I
and
think
it's always fun.
Tingle just being
Fun to see
Tingle.
Tingle.
He kind of wins it just for being Tingle
We love that fella.
somehow.
There's some deep lore connected
Deep
to
lore.
this island. Very deeper than the Willy and Obley lore.
Yes,
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. A tier.
Um,
Nico, oh man, this is gonna be a real love fest. I feel like at this point.
3 islands we all hate, right?
Disgusting. Don't even drop anchor.
Well, why don't we let's just go through them in the order that we have them here. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all-
So
they're all
starting with Dragon Roost. So Dragon Roost Island. Pretty safe
Terrible
to say
music.
most people's favorite music in the game.
Such
Oh,
bad
music,
music.
yeah.
Why did they?
Now, what's funny is most of these islands we've talked about so far, most of them, I mean, you got Forest Haven that's got its own, Forsaken Fortress has its own. These ones in S tier, a lot of them have their own. Most of them do not have their own music. All three of these do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, these are pretty much like the 3 hubs of the game.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Big ones. Well, 2 major hubs and then 1 like pretty big hub. But yeah, Dragon Roost is the first big island that's not home that you see in the game, right? You get here. This is where you learn how to use the Wind Waker for the first time.
That's where you get the Wind Waker.
That's where you get the Wind Waker.
Statues.
He's just like, I found this in the ocean and it's in my mouth now. Do you want it? Like, okay.
You talk to Zaphos.
Yes,
cool.
there's the stone things. And
which is fun because it's like, ooh, are they from this island? Is this like, did they worship them? Like, what's going on there?
Are they Rito? Did they evolve?
There's different little puzzles, obviously.
Yes. You've got the dungeon, which I know we're not really counting that. However, you've got Valu up top, and you can see him the entire time, which I think is very cool.
You can see him up there?
It's one where Tower of the Gods has this, even though we didn't include it for some dang reason. But you go outside, it's... Oh, I'm sorry.
Whoa.
It's different than Forsaken Fortress, where it's like you really feel like you're in the world, but these have those where you're in the dungeon and you come up and you're like, oh, I'm all the way up here now. So that's kind of cool.
It's like faux. It's obviously like you look at the island from down below and you're like, oh, that's not up there. But it's like
the little Rito village in there is pretty neat too. It's not as neat as the other ones we're gonna talk about, I don't think, but it's got like the mail sorting and obviously it's got that thing later in the game where you come back and you can hear the music playing. I love that.
Yeah. The entire postal system for the Great Sea is run from this island.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And you can throw the letters into the boxes. It's very cool.
You get to play the Grinch minigame.
Yeah. Yeah. Great reference.
I would say it's an S tier island. I think that's kind of like no doubt.
It's gotta be. It has to be.
It's a great spot.
And like I agree. I don't like putting too much on the dungeon, but like part of the dungeon is going outside and like wrapping around the island,
so
and like
that kind
going
of
to the
counts
top
for
of the
it.
island. So it's like it feels super cohesive
for a game where it's technically not there in the overworld and you are in a sub area. It does a really good job of making it feel like you actually are on top. So
yeah,
they do a good job with that. So S tier. Shit for me, Timbers. Up next is which one do you
go outside?
Okay, cool.
Let's do outside.
I'm fine.
Obviously, the vibe here is great.
Great music. I like the Outset. I actually think Outset Island is my like favorite island theme in the game, even though I do love Dragon Roost a lot. It's just like it's up
there.
It's cute. It's homey.
It's the same melody as Errol's theme, which just reminds you of home.
Yeah,
that's home. That's where family is.
It's a weird island. Like if you ever like sit and look at it, it's a weird island. It's broken
like
up.
Islands connected by
it's like
a bridge,
2 kidney beans with some like little rocks in between, a couple bridges, a forest up top. You've got the what's the actual cave called in this? The trial.
The Savage Labyrinth.
Savage Labyrinth. What a name.
Yeah.
You've got the little like super the lookout, the docks. There's like 4 houses on the whole island.
Very memorable characters, I think, too.
Super memorable characters, yeah.
It's one of my favorite starting areas in a Zelda game because it really does just feel like a cute little home.
It's a perfect little... Yeah, you can steal her life savings that's hidden away in the basement. Take that, Grandma.
Play with pigs.
The pigs!
You play with pigs, but you can use once you come back, the big old fat pig, you can use them to dig out some treasure.
There's Booger Kid.
The all of the tutorials are here. Like it's such a jam-packed island, and that happens a lot where like a lot of the starting areas in Zelda games, sometimes they can feel like they do a great job at introducing you into stuff, and it's a great tutorial area, but like you come back and you feel like you're back in the tutorial area.
Yeah.
With being like, all right, well, let me get back to the real stuff. But this has the Savage Labyrinth. It's got a hidden Great Fairy.
It's got
Jaboon's Cave, yeah, in the back.
It's got some good stuff that actually it does feel worth coming back to.
Grandma Soup.
It's got Grandma Soup. We love Grandma Soup.
Which is completely optional. You can just leave her sick for the rest of the game.
2 servings, baby. All the way up to
2 servings.
Leave
2
her
servings.
It's got
the little
Orca's
forest
mini game.
Yeah.
It's got the fairy. There's a fairy fountain up there too.
Yep.
With the
Yes,
forest.
which honestly, I remember the first time playing this game as a kid when my friend Taylor and I realized that there was a fairy fountain up there. Because we were just like at the point in the game where we're like, what else do we do? Like we had beaten it and we just like reloaded the save. And we're like, what can we go back and do? We want to explore everything. We're like, let's go back to Outset Island. And we went up to, we're like, oh, we can like change the wind and we can like get over there. And then we were going through, we're like, what's this giant rock? You think we can get rid of this rock and we find a freaking fairy? And we're like, what? Like, how cool is that? Cool. It's so hidden and it's so good because that's like the first place you go in the entire game. And it was right there in front of you. You never knew. Very nicely done.
So
there's
a for sure S tier.
I mean, yeah, it's going
undoubtedly S tier. There's it's really funny too, Goo. I remember I think I was sending you pictures when we were playing through for Gooey's Dungeon Dive. Like, if you go back and just talking to some of the NPCs, like the family, I don't remember the mom's name, but the mom of Zill and Dill, like, you can go back and talk to them, and you have the funniest conversation because, like, one of them keeps talking about how, like, the pig that they named after you, like they couldn't find it or whatever, and then one of the kids is like, we ate it.
What? Really?
Like, oh my god.
That's
yeah, like,
awesome.
Go back and talk to them, and like one of the sons keeps like blurting out stuff and making the mom mad, and it's so funny.
Silly.
Like, he implies that like the mom is getting fat because she's eating too much food and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
He's savage.
This little kid.
They named the labyrinth after him.
Yeah, it's his labyrinth.
How cute. No, it's just such a good, like, I would say besides the Great Plateau, it's like the best starting area in a Zelda game. Like, it's just
my money goes to Kokiri Forest, and it's the one thing I'll say about this. If I was ranking it to other things,
sure,
that's got a whole dungeon in it.
That's true.
One where I'm always kind of like, man, I wish there was a little bit, you know.
I mean, this has a dungeon. It's 100 floors deep.
So much here.
That is pretty sick, yeah. That's more to do with the game than this island, where I'm like, I've complained about that a bunch, where it's like the time to dungeon ratio.
Oh, that's fair.
I definitely think
Wind Waker has that problem.
Yeah, I definitely think they could have done more with that. Like, it's the Forest of Fairies, which is cool that it's called the Forest of Fairies. But like, they could have made that into like a full-blown mini dungeon or something.
Yeah,
but it's still pretty cool.
Still cool. But we got the best. I think the best for last. IMO. I think this is the best dungeon in the game. Just such a. This is like Windfall Island. It has so much going on. I don't even know. Like, I mean, you come back to it at so many times, and there's often like things that develop throughout the game and stuff you can progress optionally and whatnot.
A lot of story here.
A lot of story, a lot of things like going on.
I don't know. It's not that big, and it's wild that they jam-pack so much into there. There are so many heart pieces, so many side quests, so many treasure charts. Like, all the NPC... That's what I love about this, too, is, like, they didn't follow up Majora's Mask directly building on that idea of, like, the cyclical nature of people doing their stuff. But this is, like, one of the coolest examples of them, like, kind of implementing that stuff, where, like, all of these definitely. NPCs have their own schedule. They have their own things that they're doing, and you're just plopping into a regular everyday life of the Windfall Island villager, you know?
Yeah.
They did that in a good way, like especially for the time where it's like Majora's Mask, they almost had to make like 50% of the game about that then, whereas this is like it's not as complex necessarily, but it's like, you know what I mean, it's implemented really well here.
Yeah. I mean,
Like-
there are just so many genuine interactions that you have on Windfall that change so often. I mean, there's like 15 side quests that touch this island. And I think that's incredible because it is so dense and it really does feel like a little bustling town. They do such a good job with that.
For sure. And this is like that aspect of it and the vibes of it. It's like a little town that's moving whether you're there or not, is like a framework that they use, and like it's almost like a beta Breath of the Wild town. Where like it's like a Kakariko village or like a Hateno village where like all the people are doing stuff. They're going to their jobs. They're going on their little loops around the city. They're talking to other NPCs, and like you're just there viewing all of it and like having a little hand in all of it. And I think a great way to kind of like guide you and show you around that stuff is the pictograph side quest.
Yeah.
Where you have to go around and take pictures of these NPCs during specific times doing specific things, and like you get extra little details about these NPCs. I don't know. And you got the stuff with the teacher and the killer bees. You get to play hide and seek with the killer bees.
Yeah, which
you
is
come
like
back here and...
such an obvious nod to Majora's Mask, which is great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just fun.
Well, and the other thing I love about this, just besides that, it's like got so much Kakariko Village DNA in there.
Yeah,
like it's got
the windmill.
It got the windmill, and the theme is like a remix take on the Kakariko Village theme, and like I don't know, I love it. This is just such a perfect hub town island, and it's one of my favorites in the entire series.
I would put it up there too. So it's definitely, I think, the best island in this game. So I think we should put it all the way at the top.
All the way at the top. We going all the way. We going whoop-bam.
All the way at the top.
Look at there, number one, baby.
This is looking pretty good, huh?
Oh yeah,
this is good.
Do you feel comfortable with this?
Yeah, you got these crappy things down here and some amazing
Don't even drop
islands
anchor
up
there.
here.
I feel like it's a good. It kind of shows like the game's got a.
It's pretty
solid tier of.
You
know, I don't expect all the islands to be hits. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is like the ones that are down in D tier, Crescent Moon, Starbelt Archipelago, the 5 and 7 star isles, and the Reefs. It's like they're all down there because they're relatively boring compared to the rest. But like if you're still in the mood to like be in that exploration and doing things, like there's still neat things you can do there. They're kind of cool, natural little pit stops in the Great Sea, which I like. You know.
Yeah, we're saying out of all the islands, they're D tier, but in our heart, they're still D tier.
They're like C tier.
Yeah, maybe.
In our heart, I would never stop there.
Overall, for a game as old as it is, they did a great job of just creating a lot of fun spots that are worth checking out.
Yeah, man.
Some that are just like absolutely, like Windfall will always be just one of the best hubs in a Zelda game. I mean, there's just so many good things that they did with these islands.
Yeah. Happy Wind Waker week.
Happy Wind Waker week. This was a long one, but it was a fun one.
Also nice the week of my birthday. Perfect, because it's my favorite game.
Coincidence. I like that we're taking some time from Tears of the Kingdom, which has been rocking our worlds, to look back on an older game.
I don't know what that is.
We'll be back to talking about that though, for sure. We're gonna talk.
Oh, for
there's
sure.
Still so much more. So, like and subscribe, stick around on the channel to see all that stuff. But until then, this was a lot of fun. Check out all our stuff in the description, and we'll see everybody in the next video, if Shad lets us.
We don't know. We don't know.
The lawyers are still deliberating, but